Hey, I'm back, your trusted mum friend, here to do the research because this parenting gig doesn't come with a rule book. We only have each other. And today's topic is all about chores and how to get your kids to do them willingly, and even bonus, they actually desire to help you out. I've got all the tips and tricks backed by research. So if this sounds interesting, stay tuned, give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe and tap that bell, and let's get into it. If this is our first time meeting, thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I have 4 kids and I work full-time, and so does my husband, and our household chores were really starting to get on top of us, so much so that I was inquiring about getting a cleaner. However, after doing some research, I have come to discover that there is a way, specifically if you do have older kids, to help you so that there is that communal feel about keeping the household chores under control. Now, this isn't to say that little ones can't help out, they absolutely can, but from the research that I have done and been able to successfully implement, we have not had to have the extreme weight of household chores solely falling on our shoulders, and that has been such a game changer, and I wanted to share the secret. Researchers like Dr. Justin Colson from the Australian Journal of Early Childhood value the distinction between expected and encouraged chores. Now, this has been a total game changer for us. I have looked into so many other people's ways of creating chore charts, and it really is unanimous that having expected chores that you do not pay your child to do is really important. These chores are the bare minimum of being part of your family. Here in the Rashidies household, this looks like making their bed every morning, making sure that their room is clean, putting away folded laundry into their drawers, getting their lunch boxes into the kitchen and unpacked at the end of the day, and making sure that their school bag is actually put into our school locker system, and carrying bags of groceries from the car to the kitchen. Having 4 kids and working full-time, these are just expected chores that help with the maintenance of surviving each week. Journal of Family Studies discuss how children develop a sense of intrinsic motivation, the willingness to do it from within, when these expected chores are framed as contributions and not punishments. Then the encouraged chores become optional ones that are tied to fostering your child's ability to be independent and to have accountability because they're working towards a long-term goal. What's an expected chore that is in your household for your little ones? Please comment them down below because I would love to know if yours are same or different to me. In child development, it's extremely important that a child's voice is heard and they are able to advocate for themselves, which leads to the development of the encouraged chores. Now, this is kind of a bit of an entrepreneurial skill that you are encouraging in them, and this has been the game changer in the Rashidies household. What happens is the girls and I have a cup of tea and we sit down with a scrap piece of paper and we brainstorm kind of a bit of a menu of the chores that they can do to earn pocket money, and we also outline once again the expected chores. Now, depending on the time of year, the expected chores will change. So previously homework wasn't on it because it was our summer holidays, but now homework is part of the expected chores, and we have our goal, which is the kids are trying to get their ticket to go to the ninja park called Flip Out. According to the Parenting Australian website Raising Children, when children's voices are incorporated into the decision making, they are going to show more cooperation in implementing whatever the desired outcome is, because it gives them that sense of control. And we have definitely found this to be true. The girls are willingly doing the chores because it was their idea and it's things that they want to do, and it's not forced upon them. It is them having an option to do it. Now, because every child is different, and most kids, especially in the teaching position, I have seen families that have at least 2 will be chalk and cheese, and now having 4 of them, we have 2 chalks and 2 cheeses. You will have children who will have that intrinsic motivation to do chores all by themselves, and then you might have children who need that motivation and encouragement to do them. So reminding them of that end goal, asking them what chore they actually want to do, and you could even price them so that chores that they find less desirable could be worth more money for them. Each menu can be catered to the child's needs and interests, and we have found that this helps all of our kids to succeed. Over the last couple of months of implementing this, it's interesting to see that one child definitely favors laundry and folding, while another child prefers kitchen chores. Now, Mick and I have discussed, do we make them, force them to swap? And he and I have come to the agreement that if they would like to do a different job, then they're going to choose a different job. And if they voice it, we are going to absolutely advocate for them and say, well, maybe it's Zoe's turn to do that, or hey, it's Amira's turn to do this, she hasn't done this in a while, and just share the chores out. But in no circumstance do we ever force them to do a chore. We do give them friendly reminders that they've only earned so much money this week, and that if they want to get to the next line on the thermometer, that maybe they should tidy the playroom or unpack the dishwasher or sweep up under the table. And we give them some prompts and guidance, but we're not ever forcing them. And thankfully, all siblings have a bit of a competitive spirit towards each other, and that works in our favor because the girls specifically don't want to earn less money than each other. So they definitely keep an eye on the chores that they've done throughout the week, and they play to their own strengths. Now, this all started because the kids were earning cash pocket money, and Mick took them to the shops, and they were just selecting items that were once-off uses, or they would lose interest in it. It was a little bit frustrating and confronting because that's our hard-earned cash that we've worked for throughout the week that we've given to them, and at the time they weren't really doing a lot of chores to earn it themselves. Our system wasn't as refined. That's when we came up with this system of giving them a long-term goal. The girls brainstormed together something that they wanted to do. At the moment, thankfully, they have gone for attractions and activities that we can do as a family. So the last one that we've just achieved, we went to Aussie World yesterday. So tickets cost $55, and then they wanted to buy a sundae there, so that was an additional $9. And the girls have worked so hard to earn that pocket money, and it has been great to see them do that. Now, at the start, I mentioned the fact that we had gotten to a point where we were just at our wits' end when it came to running the household. Since doing this pocket money scheme, I haven't had to fold a load of laundry for like 2 months, and the dishwasher gets packed and unpacked regularly. The amount of weight that is off our shoulders, all because they're going for that long-term goal, has been so amazing and such a life changer for us. If the kids decide that they want to work towards getting like a massive Lego kit, or maybe they want to get an outdoor play equipment or something like that, then obviously we can work for those bigger things. But what we have found is, since giving them a extrinsic motivation of a long-term goal, it has been so beneficial for all of us, because they're not just buying junk, and we're also teaching them financial literacy of the fact that you have to work to earn your money, and you have to put it away and save it so that you can get those nice things. You can't just expect to have the nice things straight away after 1 week of working. I'm definitely hoping that all of these skills provide them a good foundation for when they become teenagers and adults, and they're saving for bigger, more expensive items, that they're used to putting a little bit of money away and saving up for those items. So this is what our last thermometer looked like. It had the expected chores at the top, and the ways that they could earn money, a bit of their menu, and then they would color it in. So it went up in $5 increments, and this was super beneficial. We did this every Sunday night, which as a primary school teacher, this is great maths coming through. Amira would do multiplication of the different chores that she would do, and then do a running sum to add it all together. Where with Zoe, I would sit down and I would add the dot totals together, so she just had an addition sum to complete. So obviously you can differentiate it for the child's needs. So with Amira being in grade 4, she can do lots of operations of maths, where Zoe is still working on her foundation ones. Now this is what I would print off each week, and you can see the amount of dots is how many times I've done chores. This is also really good data as a parent to see which chores are not going as well. So when we did our meeting this morning to discuss new chores, there was some that I said to them, well, you haven't done that in 2 months, doesn't need to be on the menu. Because one of the chores that we do have is parent helper, where Mick and I can give the kids money according to whatever the chore is. So once again, leading into that entrepreneurial skill, if they see that the leaves on the frangipani tree have fallen onto the floor, they can say, hey mom, can I rake up the leaves for $1 to do a bag of leaves? In which case we'll say, yeah, no problems, thank you so much, and then they can go do that chore for us. Amira said, hey, if I clean out the car, can I get $2? Absolutely, you can get $2 for doing that. So we're giving them that skill of seeing a need and actually fulfilling it and getting paid to do that job. But we have had a discussion with them about the difference between fulfilling a need where you're providing a service versus being a loving sibling and a loving child to us as parents, and that we're not going to pay you to show kindness and love. So that is a side topic that we had to have a bit of a conversation on, just so that they can distinguish between the two. Now for me personally, I go onto Canva to make their chore charts. I found a template that had the thermometer on it so that I can do the increments of money, and the kids do their coloring in every Sunday. On the poster chart, there is the expected chores at the top, and then the menu for the bottom, of which they can select from. Once again, every time we get a new goal, the kids and I revise what chores they can do. Now that we're not on school holidays, drink bottle top up is no longer a job because they're getting filled up at the start of each day to go to school. We're not going out in the middle of the day to head down to the beach and stuff like that. Which leads me to the second sheet that I make, which is just duplicated for Amira and Zoe, which is our menu of chores that they can do. This time I am going to put the money for each of the chores. I did leave it blank just in case we wanted to change them, but the girls really enjoyed knowing how much each chore was. So folding the laundry was $1.50. They don't like it changing throughout the goal, so I think once it's set in stone, it needs to be set in stone. I think it can change when you set a new goal. So for our new goal of going to the Ninja Park, the chores are becoming slightly cheaper. We don't want a goal to go for too long, but at the same time, we don't want them smashing it out in 2 weeks. So finding that balance is really difficult, but also super beneficial. This is our chore system in the Rashidi household. It is super beneficial because we're teaching them so many skills about entrepreneurialism, financial skills, and just even their mathematics of adding up their chores at the end of the week. It is really beneficial for their voices to be heard. It builds independence, and it just has been a winner for us. We no longer have to nag them for chores. It's also not on us to figure out who's doing what. It's all on them, and it has worked 1000%. So I hope you have liked today's video. If you do need a template, just email me. My information is in the description box below. If you have liked today's video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and tap that bell, because this parenting gig doesn't come with a rulebook. We only have each other. And here on the end screen, I've picked 2 more videos that I think are perfect for you. So keep on watching, and I'll see you next Monday. Bye.